Hi there, today's video, look at this little bit of a reveal. Look what arrived in the post today. We purchased and ordered some of these beautiful ammonite molds from a local small business, well, in the UK, local, Red Hot Molds. Everything, by the way, that we've used materials wise will be linked in the description box below as to where you can purchase them from. Now, I know when we looked online again to try and buy them again because I wanted another set, they'd already sold out. So just keep looking, keep trying, and as soon as they come back in stock, you'll be able to purchase them again. They do also do inlays. We have bought those, so we'll be bringing those to you in a later video, maybe in some trays perhaps, or some bowls. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification or bell, and you'll see all the upcoming videos that we publish on YouTube, and one of which will be using the inlay powders. So we're going to use this lovely ice white or ice blue Arteza mica powder and these lovely Let's Resin chrome powders. Yep, still continuing the love affair with Let's Resin chrome powders, but also really love the Arteza mica powders as well. Be interesting to see if any issues presented mixing a mica powder with a chrome powder. Don't think there will be. I think with the chrome ones, they just give this extra mirrored like sheen and shine to them. So decided which ones we're going to use. We've got obviously the ice blue from Arteza, the dark blue from the chrome powder, the paler sort of greenish blue. I don't know what kind of colour you'd call that. Powder, and also the silver. Now this is a time-lapse video of me applying the powders to the molds. Apologies for the overexposure there with the light on against the white molds reflecting in our camera. It just didn't like it. It didn't like it. I didn't want to delete this footage. I wanted you to be able to see what happens when you apply the powders and the mica, the powders, the chrome powders, and the mica powder to the molds, and the effect. But just to make it less of a contrast, bright contrast, here we go with a little fly past of what they look like when I had dusted them. Just use a dry bristled paintbrush or makeup brush. I used the one that came with the Let's Resin chrome powders in this case to apply the powder to the molds. And now I'm using some resin. This is leftover resin from another project, it's got a little bit of the ice blue mica powder mixed in with it, and I'm just pouring slowly and steadily into the mold, trying to make sure you don't add in lots of bubbles to the resin itself, and then just pouring it into the rest of them. Now the rest of this clip has been sped up because you don't need to sit and watch me pouring resin into molds for 10 minutes or so, or more than 5 minutes really, because that would become a little bit boring, and don't want to bore you. Want you to remain glued to the video, tuned in and watching and receptive. And saying about that, why not give us a like, share and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you haven't, it's easy to do so. You just need a YouTube account. Just provide your email address to YouTube and you can subscribe to whatever channels you want to then on this, but hopefully ours will be one of them. Currently uploading videos twice a week, usually 3 times, but taking a little break from doing that at the moment. So it'll be a Friday and a Sunday, 5 PM UK time. Don't normally last more than about just over 15-20 minutes max, maybe, with the odd one or two going a bit longer than that, depending on how many things are made in the video, techniques, procedures, all that kind of thing. We do also take part in the odd collaboration. We do have a collaboration playlist as well if you want to check that out. Took part in one of those in June, early June, was it mid-June? I think it was, second week of June, in association with Claire's Crafty Corner. And that was a lot of fun. Haven't done one of those in a long time. Really missed it. Really enjoyed doing it. Right, why not check out our video in there, and also the videos from the other artists that took part. So we go, we're just doing the demold here. Nice clean molds. We do also clean our molds over. We wipe them over with a wipe. Now we buy the wipes that you can buy from your local DIY store. The same that the ones that contractors use. They clean up paint spills, resin. They're brilliant. But obviously if you're using resin, working with resin, do make sure that you follow all the proper PPE guidelines. Wear the respirator mask, work in a well ventilated area. If you have an air purification machine like we have now, switch it on. Switch it on. Open up the doors, windows, do as much as you can. Obviously make sure you're wearing gloves, keep your arms covered, your hair tied up, wear an apron and old clothing. Another thing to mention is don't wear open-toed shoes. Because if any of the resin drips or there's any accidents, it gets knocked over, if it comes into contact with your skin, it does cause a burn. Speaking from bitter experience there. Just make sure you take good care of yourself. And obviously once it's completely cured, it doesn't present, it's not harmful to you at all. So here we go, demolding that. So we've done 4, we had a mold of 4 extra small, then 2 of the small, and then these I would say are medium size. Then we've got another large, 2 large. These look fantastic. You can make these into so many things, incorporate them into so many things, trays, bowls, centerpiece designs for tables, or just as interior pieces. Look at those. I love the effect of these powders. Absolutely stunning with a capital S, obsessed with a capital O, and definitely in love with these. Absolutely, ammonites fascinate me. I know obviously you wouldn't find these in the natural world in this colour. They're more likely to be darker colours, like browns, blacks, greys, that sort of colour. If you've ever been lucky enough to find one, have you been lucky enough to find one? Let us know in the comments. Have you used these moulds before? What sort of colour combinations did you use? Did you do anything differently? Did you use the faux gold foil flakes? That's one thing we're thinking of possibly doing. Now look at those. Now I have trimmed them all up using a deburring tool, which is the little bits of shards you can see there. So they're nice and soft, no sharp edges anywhere. And guess you guessed it, I went again. I got carried away. I didn't show, there's no point in me showing you any footage of me putting the powders on the mould, but these are what I used. I've used a green, a deep plummy colour, and the pink, the rose pale rose pink. And also because you know it's this channel, a bit of gold, why not? So what I used to fill these this time is I made up some resin and I added in the black pigment paste by Vista. Now I thought this would give it that additional pop of colour. It would help the colours that we had got there on the mould just to be even more intense, because that's the usual effect you get if you're using chameleon flakes or chameleon powders. Well, that's definitely been our experience anyway. So sort of merrily filling up, or very happily just filling up all these moulds. The smaller ones I chose to fill up like this so that I didn't overfill them, she says. I'll try not to overfill them anyway. So I'm just literally taking some off on a little mini stir stick and popping it into the mould. I'd got a lot more control doing it this way. There we go. So almost done with those. Something I should also say is when I left these to cure, I gave them a little bit of a spritz of isopropyl alcohol just to get rid of any little surface bubbles that should pop up. Went back in about 10-15 minutes just to check, got rid of any more bubbles by using a little spray of alcohol, and you know, left them to cure. And they had cured by the following morning. So we're doing this in the afternoon, and by the following morning they'd cured. The reason for that is it's quite warm here in the UK at the moment. We're going a bit of a heat wave. Otherwise, you know, they're going to take a full 24 hours at any other time of the year. So here we are, all completely cured. Doing the small ones first. And I have just sped this clip up because it's quite a lot to demold, or to show you demold of. So there we go. I'm just turning them all over. Look at those. Now, to be honest with you, this camera shot doesn't really do them justice. If you saw them in the natural light, you would see just how they sparkle. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love these colours mixed together. You may have seen recently a video we did which involves some rose peony flowers, and I used the same colours as I've used here in one of those. If you've not seen it, why not check it out from our playlist? Again, all beautiful, and these would work just as well with them. As I said though, you could just use a solid colour, opaque resin in here, and they look just as beautiful. Now I decided to make 2 in each of the colourways into necklaces, and to do that I need to put some bezels or some bails on the back, and we had these flat backed bails, I should call them, not bezels, bails. Again, ordered through Amazon. Actually not ordered through Amazon, these ones were ordered through little windows, which I think you can buy through shop, but yeah, they were from Little Windows, but you can get something similar off of Amazon. There we go. So just applied a bit of that glue, which is like a super glue, and it's an activated glue, and then held it in place using my silicone tip tool. This was quite fiddly to do, I have to say. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure there. Usually it's got a really firm grip and adhesion within a matter of seconds, so do watch where you're putting the glue. Don't do as I have done and did do in another bit of this project where I stuck my glove to it. But anywho, just popping a little bit of UV resin over the top of it as well, just to make sure that it's completely there. It's going to be there for the duration of its existence, and just use a silicone tip tool there just to guide the resin around. Did it again with the other one, and warning, there is a bit of a UV light coming up any moment, because obviously you do need to cure it, so use the UV light on it in the torch for about 30 seconds, and then I put them underneath our main UV lamp for 3 minutes. Now the other thing I don't show you in this video, but I have done, is I have covered the whole, gone back and covered the whole of the back of these with UV resin, not just the bail but the whole of the back of them, just so it's completely smooth. You can see that there, a little bit of black glove, it's not coming off, but the bail there, as you can see, I'm just demonstrating, it's not going to come off. Not going to come off at all. So there we are in the other colorway as well. It's fully on there. And then the only thing you need to do then with those is just add your cord, or put it on a chain or a piece of leather, and you know, you've got your necklace. Apply a clasp if you want to, or just tie it in a bow or a knot at the back. Now I also decided to make, I've got two pairs in one colorway, 2 pairs in another, of the extra small into earrings. They are studs, not dangle earrings. Just decided where I was going to put the post part of the earring finding, which is the post with the round base at the bottom, and I decided I'm not going to mess about with the super glue thing again. I'm going to go straight in with UV resin, so I've put a tiny dot of it on, and then just popped that post on with the flat bottom to it. Just there, can you see? You probably can't see, maybe you can see. The UV resin is just going over the edge of that post there. There we go. Now I'm just going to manipulate it back because it had moved slightly to where I wanted it to be. There we go, just having a quick look there. There will be a UV light coming up again soon. And I'm just, there you are. So just gave it a little blast with a UV lamp, then applied some more UV resin over the top, and yeah, put it back under the lamp. Now also I did go back with these after I'd finished filming and cover the whole of the back of the earring just so it was completely flat, and there we go with the butterfly on it. There we are. And they do look absolutely stunning on. Bit larger than your normal stud earring, but they are beautiful. Did exactly the same with this colourway as well. Just going to attempt to put the butterfly on the back of the earring. There we go. They aren't difficult to do. It's just the fact, obviously, I've got the white cotton gloves on and then I've got the nitrile gloves on as well. And I can never find a pair that completely fits me. But there we go. So just there we are. There it is. And that post is on there. It's not going to come off at all. So I then proceeded to make the other parts. And here we go. Now we've got multiple final shots in indulging ourselves here. Look at this. So those two, so we say large ones, and the next size down, well, the two large ones you could actually set in some deep coasters. Look at these though. These are the blue pendants just hanging there, looking absolutely gorgeous with a light on them. And here are the earrings. So the two large ammonites I think would look great set in the deep mould coasters. I don't know if you've seen those. I think you can buy those from Let's Resin as well. Check out our Amazon storefront because we have the molds in there. Or, you know, you could actually use them as a large, and it would be a large statement piece. Or you could put them in trays and so on. You just need to make sure that you're not taking up too much of the surface of the tray, so that you end up with a clear coat of resin over the top of them, obviously to encapsulate them in and secure them, because you still want to be able to use the tray. But there we go, look at that. This is the other colourway. Absolutely beautiful. And there we go. Absolutely lovely, those. Really lovely. And here are all of the pink, mauve and gold and green together as a set. Now these will be available very soon on the website for purchase. So why not check out our website as well. Link in the description comment in the description below. Take care everyone. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.